the Inbound Secret.
My name is Bryce, and I'm your host for The Inbound Secret, where we're talking with top performers and health experts and sales badasses alike about their strategies to optimize their well-being and performance. Once again, this is The Inbound Secret, and let's get rocking and rolling.
This is the Inbound. This is the Inbound. This is the Inbound. The Inbound. This is the Inbound Secret.
What's going on, everybody? Bryce here with the Inbound Secret and Funnel Driven for another episode of the Inbound Secret podcast. And today's guest, we've got Julie. Introduce yourself, Julie.
Hey, I'm Julie Groves, and I own a real estate company here in Longview, Texas called 903 Realty.
Very cool. So as you guys know, we kind of do this off the cuff because I'm a big fan of real, raw, relevant content. We may stutter, we may hiccup, we may joke, we may laugh, we may just fully go off board and have a conversation that's unrelated to real estate or marketing, but that's why you're here in the first place. So without further ado, Julie, tell us a little bit about 903, tell us a little bit about Longview, tell us a little bit about what got you into real estate. Kind of just let it all free flow.
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to apologize. It looks like I have a ghost behind me, and I have no idea why that is flickering. So y'all just have to kind of ignore that.
Is that part of the Longview charm?
I guess so, but I mean, you can see it. It's been bothering me all day, and I don't know how to fix it. So anyway, that aside, I got into real estate about 8 years ago. Kind of got into it kind of on a whim. I was scrolling Facebook of all things one day, and a girl I went to high school with was looking for real estate agents. At the time, I was just staying at home, piddling, playing with the plants in the yard, whatever. Why not? You know, I ain't got nothing better to do. So I went and did all the classes, got into the real estate game, and the first year, her top producer tried to fire me. She said, "Oh my God, you need to go back to what you were doing. I can't handle this. You know, you're too much competition." Because I was probably within $200,000 of her sales as a rookie. So she was just hell-bent I needed to go. But
Bravo.
So from there, you know, I kind of realized how it worked and how the splits went, and instantly knew that when I could get my broker's license, I was out. I was going to do my own thing. I said, there is no reason for me to pay y'all money when nobody's training me and I'm like figuring all this out by myself. So by year 4, I did it. I got my broker's license, and that's how 903 Realty came about.
Okay.
And this is sad. I was sitting in the bar with some buddies one day, and I was like, so I'm like going to do this thing, and I kind of need a name. And of course, you know how it is. Drinking, all these names come out, and 903 Realty just stuck. And so that's kind of how the company got its name.
Okay.
Kind of based on the area code. Our area code here is 903. So that's how it came about.
So you did the there was a show, it was one of those like daytime dramas, like swoon over daytime soap opera, 90210. You did the 90210 style naming.
Yeah, and oddly enough, now that I've done it, I see more people doing it. Mm-hmm. Like they'll have 903 or they got 903 whatever, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I beat y'all to the punch, you know, because now it's. In fact, there's another company called 903 Real Estate LLC. Mm-hmm. I get calls from people all the time. I take their business all the time because nobody knows how to get in touch with them. They have no phone number, no nothing. So
nice.
I'll take it.
Well, hey, that works for you. You kind of trademarked that area. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that you kind of stumbled into real estate. That seems to be kind of a continuing trend with a lot of us here, especially in the Apex world that we're part of Break Free Academy, where we kind of stumble into what we're meant to do more so than like found it by some divine intervention. From your year one, you said you kind of went through as a rookie within 200K of the top producer for the brokerage that you were at. What did you
Oh,
do
yeah.
to make that happen?
Well, I'm very driven and I
Mhm.
like to know. That's my problem. I like to know. So when I got into it, I mean, I would watch people and I think, well, how are they getting business? How are they doing what they're doing? Because nobody ever said, okay, well, you need to go buy Zillow ads or you need to pick up the phone and make phone calls. It was like,
Mhm.
hey, you got a license? Good luck. And I went, well, shit.
Mm.
So I started watching everybody and I started calling the older agents in town that I thought would help me and got a grasp of what they were doing and I just took off with it. So I started telling everybody, hey, I'm in real estate. I started buying Zillow ads. And the key to real estate is to answer the phone. And I realized real fast that a lot of agents don't.
Mhm.
And so that's pretty much how I built my business, was just staying on the phone. In fact, even today, people will ask me, are you sitting on that damn phone?
Mhm.
Yep, I sure am. It stays in my hand all day, every day, because that's how I get my business. So if my phone dies, I have a sheer panic attack. Oh my God, there just went my business. so so that's how I did it. I mean, it was just pure trial and error.
Mhm.
Get out there, learn, and then I just started watching different people and following different people down venues to see where it would go and what I could pull from that to use to build what I wanted to build.
Mhm. Very
So
cool. So I always like to ask this with, especially in real estate and mortgage, because there's always like two sides to this coin, right? Like there's the people that are digitally empowered, where they use their cell phone, they use Zillow ads or Google ads or Facebook
oh
ads.
yeah.
And then there's the agents that think it's 1947 still and trying to operate everything out of like a newspaper or just walking around town. Are you doing a mix of both? Are you leaning more
No.
towards one side or the other? Or are you just fully
No.
like empowered in 21st century?
I do all digital. Like we had this
Good.
conversation the other day. Somebody was talking about fax numbers. And I said, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them a fax number, but it's all online. So
Mm-hmm.
it comes straight to my phone. I'm not sitting by some 1980s fax waiting on this thing to print out, right? So it's all 21st century. I do a lot of Facebook and a lot of different
Good.
platforms online. And yeah, we don't do that old school crap.
Good. There's
No
actually
way.
there's this joke that was running around Facebook for a while, and it's like a meme, right? And somebody was like, "Can you fax that over to me?" And they're just like, "Sorry, sir, we can't fax from where we're at." And they're like, "Well, where are you?" 2020. We're in 2020. We
Yeah,
can't fax
yeah,
from
I've seen that one.
there.
Yeah, that's it. And every great once in a while, every once in a while, you will have somebody ask, "Can I fax you?" And I'm like, "Fax me, come on now." But online fax just for those people. So, because I do work with a lot of people that don't understand emails and technology and text and all that. So
Mhm.
I try to cater a little to them, but more so to the technologically advanced people.
At least ideally, yeah. So
Yeah.
with the climate of everything, you going digital, I'm sure helped you get through the pandemic, the craziness. What
Oh
did you
yeah.
do? What did you do to keep not only business coming in, but keep your mind right during COVID shutdown of Texas, your shutdown of basically everything worldwide? What helped kind of keep that moving forward and progressing so you didn't just you didn't get complacent just sitting at home playing in the garden again? What kept
Oh
you going?
no. No, I just changed the scripts. So instead of calling and saying, "Hey, I was calling to see if you want to look at any houses," it's, "Hey, how's everything going? Is there anything I can help you with?"
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, time, and I'm still seeing it now, is they get a pre-approval and they're ready to go, and then all of a sudden one of them loses their job because, well, they don't have any business because COVID's done cut it out.
Hmm.
So I just changing the scripts. I never quit what I was doing daily. Got involved in some coaching groups and stuff like that, and we would bounce ideas off each other. But more or
Hmm.
less during this pandemic, instead of, and I'm not a pushy salesman by any means, but I just kept saying, "Hey, what can I do to help? Can I get you in touch with somebody? Do you need me to bring you groceries?" Because if they're elderly, I didn't want them to get out. So I did make that offer. I'll go get you whatever you need and bring it to you.
Hmm.
And so I just build the rapport during that time, and it's worked. I mean, all of these people, they're just been sitting there ready to go now. So,
And you
we're all-
probably
we're
have
on the-
like a pipeline full of people that are ready to go now that things are calming down.
Oh yeah. I just keep them stacked in there, and when they're ready, because not everybody knows that everybody's not a right now buyer, and it doesn't matter if it's status marketing. It doesn't matter what it is. You got looky-loos. You got people that will buy for a year. It might be 5 years. I've had that happen. So I just nurture them and talk to them and try to be their friend for whatever amount of time it takes, and then some.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's one of the most common conversations we have. One of the byproducts of what we do, because I do digital marketing and web development, is lead generation. And that happens to be a byproduct of a lot of the stuff that we build. And it's always the same conversation. Like 5% of the market will pull the trigger today, right? And then like 45% of the market, somewhere in the next 180 days. Then like half the market is just not interested at all right now. It may be a year, it may be 3 years, it may be 5 years. That's kind of the nurture plan. So when we start doing lead gen for anybody, it doesn't matter if it's real estate, other agencies, ourselves, if it's for a digital course, whatever it is, it's always we need to focus on that first half because we need to get the 5% that are ready now. So we need you talking to them. And then we need the 45% of people that are like, yeah, but next week or next month. So we need to keep that trickling in. So I'm glad you brought that up because especially in real estate with what COVID's got going on, a lot of people got complacent. So that's why I wanted to ask like what you did to keep moving forward. So now we're going to add.
That's a time to double down.
Yeah. So now we're going to add to that. Do you have any tips, tricks, strategies that you would tell other agents or really any other professional that they can start doing today to get kind of a boost in their results, so to speak?
Oh gosh, that could be widely. I mean, there's several things you can do. Like you do a lot of social media and start running those ads and doubling down on what you're spending. You'll fill your pipeline. But you just got to remember, you're not going to convert 300 leads that come in. You're only going to convert maybe 20 of those. And the other, whatever, is going to be in a month, in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And that's what a lot of people, when they get into real estate, I got all these leads, and then they don't do anything. So my biggest thing with agents, you have to remember, they're not all right now buyers. They may be a year from now. But if you nurture them and you be their friend and whatever it takes, they will buy from you. And during that time, they'll tell everybody else about you. So you're still getting leads. So that's a good piece of advice for anybody. It doesn't matter really what business you're in. Of course, answer the phone. That's a great one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't answer the phone, you're dead in the water. At least in the text message. I tell this to agents all the time. I said, I don't care if you are showing $1 million home, that $40,000 client that's trying to call you and blowing your phone up, if you will send them a text message, they will be happy, and then they will go tell 10 people how great you are. So I try not to ignore anybody. I mean, if I can text them, I'll text them back, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not where I can talk. And I use that a lot because people like to call while I'm in the shower. Hey, I can't talk right now. But I've still answered them, and they'll still reply, and they don't know any different, right? So answering the phone is a big one. Common courtesy, common kindness. Don't be an ass. If you don't know something, by God, tell them, I'm sorry, I don't know. Don't lie. That irritates me to no end, to talk to somebody about a business deal and they give me some line of shit and then I find out they really don't know. And then it's just downhill from there. I would rather you have said, hey, I really don't know what you're talking about and I'm not really sure, but let me go find out and then I'll get back to you. So honesty is always the best policy. And I will tell somebody right up front, I do not know. I have no idea. So those are some of the key ones.
I think that one's probably my biggest one because I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with somebody in my world where we're just like, yeah, and don't get me wrong, we know a lot, but there are things people ask us sometimes that we're just like, I don't know, man. I'll ask. I'll ask
don't
somebody.
know.
I'll find out. I don't know the answer. And so like a most recent one that we've been going through is we've been trying to find what's the issue with a conversion for a client. Ton of leads, ton of opportunity, but like no sales have happened on their end, right?
Right.
So we're like, why? Because the amount of volume they have, like you would think somebody would have just tripped and fell into a sale at this point. So we're like, okay, what's the issue? And then it's always the question of, well, do you know what's wrong? Nope. We'll find out though.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. We'll figure out what the issue is. We'll find a way to make it happen. And I think that is the most important key when we're talking about like how business is conducted. Because if we came out and we were just like, oh yeah, definitely know what's wrong, and we don't, like, you're not operating with integrity. And I think that's one of the biggest things that
Oh no.
many businesses fail at.
Oh yeah, I had a digital marketer tell me one time I couldn't convert any of them, and they're all just clicking on ad. Oh, I want this list.
Mhm.
Turned around and said, "Well, it's not my problem. It must be you. You must suck at sales." And I said, "Done. We are done. Right there, we are done." I said, "If that was me, I wouldn't have $7 million worth of sales." I said, "There is something not mixing here. Something is not." But it was on me. That just really set me the wrong way. Kind of some digital marketers for a while.
That's an interesting thing too, because we get both sides of that coin, right? More often than not, and this is just pure data, right? This isn't like a personal opinion. I've got my own opinions. We don't need to talk about those. But just data, more often than not, it is on the lack of follow-up, follow-through, or timing from the salesman. More often than not.
Oh, yeah.
And that comes to like real estate, for instance, right? A real estate lead comes in, you have like 2 to 5 minutes to contact that person to give them that feel-good feeling. If you don't, you're probably burning that lead. Right.
Oh, yeah. You better do it in the first minute.
Yeah. So, and that's something that's like we have to coach a lot of people on. Like, hey, you're going to get leads, but talk to them. Like, just because they filled out a form and have proven interest does not mean they've sent you money yet. So talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Conversely to that, there are many times where optimization is key. That's why we have optimization plans, because we may not get it perfect the first month or 3 months. It may be something that's ongoing.
Right. But you got to be willing to help with that solution and not just it's a group effort. I mean, this is what I'm doing, and I'm showing you. I've got this going and emails going, and I'm calling, and it's still not converting. What can I do here to help with this instead of, oh, it's you, it's not me.
Yeah,
so,
it's a group effort for sure.
Any business though, it's a give or take. I'll help you and you help me. And it's not let's blame each other, but and the same thing with real estate agents. You've got agents you don't like working with. You have the agents that you love working with. But at the end of the day, we're all going towards that same goal. Let's get this couple in this house or get these sold or whatever. Let's just work together and find a solution. So that's kind of how I view business.
I agree with that. Okay, so we are coming up on the tail end of our time here. So I want to make sure that we kind of cover everything. So before we kind of do a wrap up, Lee, do you have something that you want to leave the audience with? Just like your golden ticket, your golden nugget, just one piece that you want them to remember leaving this podcast.
Hell, just wake up happy every day and live life to the fullest. Just go full speed ahead. That's what I do every day.
I like it. So where can people get a hold of you if they're looking for help from 903 or from you yourself in the Longview area, or if they just have questions or referrals for you? How can they contact you?
Hey, just give me a call or shoot me a text, 903-452-8915.
Perfect. So just to wrap up, guys, this is Bryce with the Inbound Secret. We have Julie here with 903 Realty, and she is your go-to if you're in the Longview, Texas area or know somebody in the area moving in or out. She's more than happy to help you. And as you can tell, honesty's kind of her biggest policy, so no jumping through hoops.
Yes.
If anybody has any questions, find either myself on Facebook at The Inbound Secret or Bryce Vance, or find Julie herself. What is your handle on Facebook?
It's Julie Allen Groves.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us here today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
This is the Inbound Secret.
My name is Bryce, and I'm your host for The Inbound Secret, where we're talking with top performers and health experts and sales badasses alike about their strategies to optimize their well-being and performance. Once again, this is The Inbound Secret, and let's get rocking and rolling.
This is the Inbound. This is the Inbound. This is the Inbound. This is the Inbound Secret.